It's time to make a lot of changes. Let's do it. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle and welcome to Belligerent Studios. What I typically do here is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, record it with a simple setup, and I give it you the unprocessed audio on your end. But today I am actually going to be talking about some really big changes to my life, my situation in my band, things that are going on with the studio. There's a lot that is going to be changing. So I figured why not just kind of wrap it all into one video. Now for some of you out there who hate when I express human emotion and let you guys know that I am a real human being on the other side of the camera, this video is not going to be for you. But rest assured, there will actually be some of me playing an instrument in this video, just probably not the one that you're expecting. So let's just get into it, guys. So with me recently hitting that 50K subscriber mark, I have been doing a lot of reflecting on the channel, a lot of self-reflection. And as proud as I am to hit that 50K mark and, you know, basically see how far that I've come in all of this, there are actually a lot of things that I'm not super happy with. There are a lot of things that I have not been accomplishing that are really important to me that I want to start kind of putting some work into, because I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys, and this may sound conceited, I don't know, but I'm just gonna say it, just gonna put it out there. I think I am actually capable of quite a bit. And that sounds like a really weird, you know, arrogant, maybe even narcissistic thing to say. I don't really think I'm a narcissist, but in fact, I'm a very self-deprecating person. I beat myself up all day long in my thoughts. And usually it's because I'm not accomplishing the things that I know that I could be accomplishing, like saying the word accomplishing correctly. Yeah, man, I mean, being honest with myself, I think that I could actually be a good musician. I actually pick up instruments when I start playing them really quickly. And though I don't know notes, like if you play a note or anything, I'm not gonna be able to identify that note by name, but I can match it on a guitar or a bass or with my voice like almost instantaneously. So like, I know that I have musicality within me, I have rhythm within me. I have just always struggled with actually sitting down and practicing and putting in the work, and that's because I have ADD really bad, guys. I'll be honest with you, I tried to get diagnosed about a year ago, so I spent a ton of time, I put a lot of effort into basically just going through all the clinical hoops and stuff, because I really do feel like I'm at a point in life where my ADD is holding me back, because I am literally responsible for everything. I do everything for the channel, guys. I don't outsource anything. Everything that you guys see here, I do all the communication, I do all the setup work, I do all the video editing, I do all the script writing if there is any script of any sort. Usually there's not. Usually I just kind of think of an intro and then roll from there. But yeah, everything that has ever been done for this channel, guys, I have done myself. And that's really cool and it's something I'm really proud of, but it's also a lot of work for one person, especially for one person who is very ambitious and one person who is also very self-critical and one person who will put things off if I don't think that I'm gonna do a good job. And because I constantly think that I'm gonna do a terrible job, I'll be honest, guys, I don't think that my content is very good for the most part. I feel like it could be a lot better than it is. But yeah, I just end up procrastinating, things slip. That is why I think at the point that this video is uploaded, I haven't uploaded anything in over a week, and a lot of that is just due to that ADD. I've got a few different videos that I've filmed, but I'm not exactly sure how I wanna edit them yet, and that just keeps me from doing things. But yeah, long story short, I really tried to get diagnosed for ADHD or ADD. They would not give me the diagnosis, so I'm just gonna really start putting some effort into trying to train my mind manually to be better focused, to be more on task. And I'm also just gonna try to structure my life a little bit differently so I can actually focus on some of that stuff. So that's kind of like the big overarching change that I'm trying to make. It's just because I know that I can do a lot more with this channel. I know that I can do more with other channels and with other endeavors than I have been able to do. I know I'm capable of more, and I want to really just start trying to hold myself to that. So one of the actual changes that we can talk about, I have been in a straight edge hardcore band called X Represent X for almost 20 years now. It'll be 20 years, it's 18 years that I've been in the band. I started out on bass, and really probably for the last like 16 years I've played guitar. But recently our drummer left. He just got really busy with life and just decided he didn't want to do the band anymore, and you know, no hard feelings on our end. We still love you, Nick, if you see this. He was a phenomenal drummer, so it was kind of a big loss to the band. My buddy Randy, who also plays drums and guitar, he came into the band, and initially he was going to be the drummer, but I have been wanting to play more drums and put more work in on drums for basically all my life. Drums were the first instrument that I wanted to play, but instead my parents got me something that they thought that I would stick with: a trumpet. That's not a joke. And that actually set me back a long time with instruments in general. That's a story for another day. But anyways, I love playing drums. I love playing drums more than I love playing guitar, and it's just something that I've wanted to be able to do more of in life and kind of have a reason to like practice and play more and stuff. So I decided Randy is gonna play guitar and I'm gonna play drums, and it's actually been that way for about a year now. But the problem with that is I never practice drums. I literally never practice. And that is really because drums are really loud and I am unable to really practice them at home most of the time. So with me switching to drums, I just really haven't had time to put in work in order to get better and kind of be the best that I can be for the band. And we actually have a sort of big show coming up in just over a month with Unearth of all bands. And I'm really excited about that show, but I want to be able to actually play and perform well for that show. So one of the changes that I am actually making is I am going to start practicing drums at least 5 days a week. I bought a practice pad, which I had never had before. I bought one of the Meinl Marshmallow pads, which will build my stamina and stuff like that in my wrists and in my fingers faster. And having used that for a week, I can already tell a huge difference. So I'm gonna try to start putting more work in on that. I bought an electric drum kit for myself and my foster son to be able to play at the house, so it doesn't so it's not too loud in the neighborhood. And I'm kind of hoping that that'll be a fun toy for him to kind of get more interested in, as we went to Guitar Center and he played around on the electronic drum kits and he like loved them, and he loves playing my acoustic drums too. They're just too loud. So the electronic drum kit's gonna be a nice tool for both of us, for me to practice, for him to kind of hopefully explore the drums and get into it a little bit more and maybe actually start playing. And I actually also kind of thought it would be fun for me to put in a one-shot take of one of X Represent X's most famous songs, Get Something. I'll drop it towards the end of the video here and you guys can check it out. My drumming's not great in it. I haven't practiced, I haven't hardly played at all recently, so this was kind of like I warmed up for about a half an hour and then I took a few takes, and I'm gonna put up the best take out of the ones that I recorded, but they are all one shot, one take. And the reason that I wanted to do that is I wanted to actually be able to see the progress that I made in that month of actually practicing and sitting down and hopefully getting better at drums, and basically see how much I can tighten up that performance. And having an actual way to measure that I think will be a really cool thing to do, because I'm not a great drummer, but I love playing drums. And finally, one of the biggest changes that I want to make is I have actually had this idea for a really, really long time, and I really actually want to kind of get started, and that's kind of where practicing the drums comes into play as well. I have always wanted to have a channel where I record hardcore covers, because I can play every single instrument. I can play drums, bass, guitar. I have done hardcore vocals. I can sort of sing a little bit, enough to get by. I can scream enough to get by for sure. And there are all sorts of like cover channels on YouTube and stuff that are really, really cool. And I find myself like watching stuff like that a lot. So, you know, once again with the guitar thing, I started the channel because there were no real like hardcore or punk rock related guitar channels for gear reviews and that style of guitar tone. Well, there isn't really anything like that for like hardcore bands, like covering hardcore bands and stuff. And I always thought it would be really cool to cover some of my favorite bands like 100 Demons and Death Threat and Buried Alive and All Out War, just bands that, you know, don't really kind of get any love in the online world when it comes to that stuff. And it gives me a reason to learn new things, especially on drums, but also on guitar. It gives me a reason to start playing bass again, because I love bass. I love playing bass. I love nerding out on bass tone big time. But most importantly, over all of that, it actually is going to give me a lot of practice in recording and producing, because I wanted to get into recording and producing. That's one of the reasons why I wanted this big studio, and I just haven't had any time to dive into that. So this will be great for me to be able to basically practice recording and producing myself, and then I can take everything that I learned from recording and producing these covers and take it to real productions for when I do end up recording bands. Because one thing that I really want to do with the studio and do with music production in general is I thought it would be really cool. I had another video series idea to basically offer like hardcore and punk rock and even like pop punk bands. If you're touring in the area and you're passing through Erie, Pennsylvania, I actually thought it would be really cool if a band had a new song that they hadn't tracked yet or had a song that they want to retrack or whatever. Stop in, we'll talk beforehand before you get here. I will set everything up so your band can basically just walk in with their guitars and with their cymbals and plug in, and we can track a song for you. You know, I'll get video shots of everything that you guys do live off the floor, and then I will produce it and I will kind of stitch that all into a final product, a produced track. I won't charge the bands anything. I think it'd be an awesome way to not only meet bands, it'd be an awesome way to work on my production, but also, you know, to get the chance to maybe record some like older bands that I love. I mean, this is like super optimistic or something, but like, how cool would it be to like record Madball? I know some people who know some people in that band. What if they had a new track and they just wanted to stop in and record it? Like, they don't have to release it or anything. They just come in here, they track it real quick, and then I can send them the stems, but also I can turn that into a video where I mix and produce one of their tracks or whatever. You know, Madball is just a name that I'm throwing out there, but like, there are a number of bands that I would love to record, and it's like, if you want a free tracking session with high quality gear in a studio that I'm kind of hoping will be somewhat legit someday, I'm hoping to be able to offer that and create some really cool content out of it, and also just kind of hone my production skills and stuff. So that's very ambitious, but that's something that I've actually thought about long before I actually had this studio. So I think that that would be a really cool video series to bring to life. But going back to me recording hardcore covers and stuff, that's just another thing that I've wanted to do for a long time, so it'll up my production skills. And also, I want to kind of like make music videos out of it, and the way that I had basically thought about structuring it, this is all going to be on my Belligerent Media channel, which is a separate channel that I've kind of used for just like odds and ends, but I kind of would like to basically make it a goal to record one cover a month. But not only will I make that one video and one cover song a month, but I'll make individual videos breaking down how I recorded drums and how I got the drum sounds, you know, down to the microphones, down to the heads, like everything. Kind of one whole video on the drum production, one whole video on the guitar production, one whole video on the bass production. Maybe do a video where I just go over the mix of everything. So like, I can kind of break it down into small pieces. It'll give me a chance to use like new and interesting guitar gear and to kind of get some different sounds down and recorded and kind of see how certain things track. Like, it's just a big learning experience that I think will be really fun. This stuff all sounds super ambitious. I am actually going to be making some pretty big life changes. I'm gonna restructure the way that I do things, so that I can kind of fit more of this stuff in, because I just don't get enough time to do the things that I love. I love this channel, it's a lot of fun, but I hardly get to play guitar anymore. I hardly have time to play bass and drums and stuff. So I'm gonna make some changes that I'm hoping will allow me to be able to play music more. But another change, and this is the last thing I'm gonna touch on for the video, and this is like super personal to me, and you guys may not care about it at all, and that's totally fine if you don't, but I figured if I put it here on the channel and I kind of give, you know, and I document it here, it'll just give me more motivation to follow through. Some of you guys have noticed, and I know you've noticed because some people have left it in the comment sections, which is, you know, kind of weird in my opinion, but I put on some weight. I've actually gained almost 40 pounds in the last year, and a lot of that is due to stress around the studio and trying to find the time to get everything done. I definitely am a stress eating type person. When I started this channel, I was actually in great shape. I was in the best shape of my life. I was like 160 pounds, really low body fat percentage. I was pretty muscular because I was doing a lot of body weight exercises and stuff. I had a solid diet. I was mostly carnivore. Carnivore works really well with my body type. I felt really good, I had better energy, and I really want to get back to that, man. At this point, I am almost 200 pounds. I'm like 196 pounds at the moment. You guys don't know this about me, but I've actually struggled with my weight my entire life. It's something that I'm actually pretty sensitive about, because literally my entire childhood, all the way up until I was 20 years old, I was overweight. In fact, when I graduated high school, I was 240 pounds. So I was like pretty significantly overweight. And since then, I've learned how to diet properly. I've learned how to work out. I actually really like working out. I like running. I love mountain biking. I used to love lifting. I don't love it as much anymore because my joints kind of hurt. So that's why I do more body weight exercises and stuff. But really, for the last 4 years, until the last year or so, I was consistently in good shape for the first time in my life. Usually what happens is I drop a bunch of weight really fast, get really motivated, start working out a lot, get in really good shape, and then that lasts for a couple of months, and then I just go back, something happens, I get stressed out, I start eating, and it's like a slippery slope. I fall back into my old habits, unfortunately. I have very little willpower when it comes to food, and yeah, I struggle with it really badly, honestly. So I am actually going to document my progress here. It's probably going to be over on the second channel. I don't think it's going to be a main channel thing, but I'm going to be going back to carnivore diet as of tomorrow. Today's Easter, the day that I'm filming this. As of tomorrow, I'm going to be going back to carnivore diet, and I'm going to be documenting my progress. Once every 2 weeks or something, I'll throw a video up over on the second channel for anybody who wants to follow along, but also for me to keep myself motivated, to keep myself on track. So all of those changes, some stuff behind the scenes, I think I'm going to be able to do it. And I kind of have like a newfound fire and a newfound passion because it's giving me something new. It's giving me something exciting to work on. I love doing the main channel stuff. Of course, I love reviewing gear and checking out new guitar gear and stuff, but I've always been somebody who loves playing every instrument. I love creating music. I love recording music. It's all stuff that I want to get better at. So these are all the changes that I am going to make here in the near future. And don't worry, I'm not abandoning my main channel or anything, nothing like that. I'll probably still be uploading roughly 2 to 3 videos a week. I want to keep that schedule. So don't worry. The reviews on this channel are not going anywhere. That is still my main focus because I love what we've built here. I love the community around this channel, and frankly, I still love gear just like I always have. And now I just want to have more reasons to actually use all this gear that I've cultivated. So that's it, guys. I just figured I would share all that with you guys. It is actually like 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been here at the studio doing some work, practicing drums and stuff, cleaning up a little bit, getting ready for all these changes, and I'm really excited. So I figured why not make a video? And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna throw up that clip of me playing. And yeah, just thank you everybody who has supported the channel. Thank you guys who support everything that I do. If you want to continue to support what I do here, you can buy some Quad Cortex capture packs over at my Patreon page or messaging me directly in order to purchase them. That helps a lot. Or you can, of course, visit all of the affiliate links, Sweetwater, Guitar Center, and Zounds. That goes a long way in helping the channel, and hopefully we'll be able to get some more cool gear and some more varied gear in my hands for these upcoming video endeavors. I'm excited about it. I really am. I'm getting off on another tangent. It's late. My brain is not working. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for listening to this long rambling video. I'm gonna get some sleep. Okay, love you. Bye.